Oh, noise warning right off the bat because I gotta move this mic. Sorry. Again, I keep saying I gotta invest in a mic arm. I really gotta get around to that. So this is the male loser epidemic from ShoeOnHead. Now, quick word from me before we even get going. I'm more primarily on Twitch playing video games than I am doing React content. So React content, complete side hustle basically. So let's just hop onto this and see what I can give.
Hello again, friends. Sorry I've been gone for quite a bit. Hopefully
Yeah, parenting does that to you, Shu.
nothing too crazy happened. I feel like
About that? Yeah, never mind. It's the internet, girl. Like, you'll know.
every time I take a break, like a war breaks out or something, but thankfully that did not happen.
This time. I feel like every time she takes a break, shit hits the fan, especially on Twitter. Because there's always, every time she comes back, there's more BS.
But at least we found out the real Epstein files were the friends we made along the way. Welcome back to the ShoeOnHead channel. If it is your first time here, friends we made along the way. Welcome back to the ShoeOnHead channel. If it is your first
I misheard it as shoe on forehead, so that's my bad already. My brain, I am taking stuff to help my brain come back. Hopefully it actually works. If not, I am screwed.
time here, run. I am ShoeOnHead, and on this channel I like to cover cultural issues, mostly surrounding men's issues. It's what I've been doing for over a decade, and frankly, I'm exhausted.
I can't blame you, but at the same time, it's just like, it seems to be with culture constantly changing, you have infinite content, lady, so
Many of you have been along for the ride, and you have seen me go from a chipper, lively 24-year-old making fun of BuzzFeed and Tumblr feminists to a bitter, calloused 34-year-old talking about very real and growing men's issues.
She's only 34? I could have sworn she was younger. Fuck, I'm old. My good grandfathers are on YouTube at this point. God damn it.
One of the main men's issues I have been covering in great detail lately has been the male loneliness epidemic. Yeah, but turns out I was wrong. We don't have a male loneliness epidemic. We have a male loser epidemic.
Really? That just sounds like the same spiteful women who were telling them, have you tried smiling? Blah, blah, blah. Anyways, yeah.
It's not a male loneliness epidemic. No, it's a male mediocrity epidemic. It's a male loser epidemic.
The male loser epidemic has gotten so bad that it's honestly so pathetic at this.
Girl, I ain't gonna say nothing, but I'm pretty sure you're a Gen Z. So, yeah, I just said it. Don't care.
Point.
Also, how much is quote-unquote the male loser epidemic? How much of it is just Twitter trend BS or Instagram trend BS? Like, I don't know.
Now, I don't always talk about men's issues.
Like, I'm not gonna deny there's not a problem, like, society-wise going on. Like, it's clear. Shoes covered it, like she said, for a decade. Sorry about this. This chair is getting sad. Wow.
No, sometimes I talk about politics, and sometimes I mix the two together. Now, I know a lot of you don't like politics, you don't care about politics, but politics cares about you.
No, they don't. They're politicians. They don't care about us. They just care about getting the votes.
And it will enter your life, no matter how hard you try to avoid it. But thankfully, I have the perfect app to help you navigate this difficult, confusing political landscape. So let's quickly give a shout out to today's sponsor, Ground News, before we get into this video, shall we?
The only problem I have with a lot of these things is, like, I don't want to spend more money to fork out the things. I get it if this is your main job and whatnot. Like, sure, you could just use it in your job, automatically pays for it kind of thing. But I don't need it because I'm not too interested in a lot of the news that comes out lately, because a lot of the news that comes out lately is just sad and depressing. It's the same bleak whatever BS going on. So it's like, I want happy news. I want, like, good breakthrough news, whatever. I'm not holding my breath.
Ground News is a website and an app that gives readers a fun and transparent way to read the news from all across the political spectrum, from left, right, and center. Every story comes
Did she just use 3 different wigs in that little segment?
with a quick visual breakdown of the political bias, ownership, and headlines that helps you understand the full story and make sure you're getting both sides. One of my favorite features from Ground News has to be the blind spot feature, which shows you news stories that have been covered by only one side of the political spectrum and ignored by the other. For example, here is a story about how the CIA uncovered a Russiagate fraud, and right away we can see how it has been covered by 41
Excuse me. Ow.
sources, and out of those 41 sources,
So the only news company there, okay, I recognize 2 news companies there, even though one of them's debatable. NBC News, because I'm Canadian, and Fox News, if you can consider Fox News still news. Is Fox News still news because Fox is owned by Disney, or is it just Disney propaganda now? Like,
93% of them lean right, with only 2 left-wing outlets reporting the story. Ground News also
I know people have been memeing on Fox News for years for everything. Holy lipstick.
makes it really easy to compare headlines to see just how political bias can affect the framing of a story. For example, this story about Zohran Mamdani winning the Democratic primary in New York. This left-leaning outlet says Zohran Mamdani's win just got a little sweeter. And meanwhile, the right-wing outlet says, meet Zohran Mamdani, the man who will ruin New York. As you can see,
well, if New York's as bad as it is in the movies and whatnot and other media that portrays it, New York does not need any help being destroyed. I joke on it because, like, my only exposure, because I've never been, is from video games and movies, so...
Very different vibes. I have been using Ground News since 2021 because I think it is so informative, so fun, and it helps me see how different stories are framed so differently, and I love it. I highly recommend it. It's one of the few apps that I wake up and just immediately check. But don't just take my word for it. Even the Nobel Peace Center called it an excellent way to stay informed, avoid echo chambers, and expand your worldview. High praise. Best of all, I am currently offering 40% off their Vantage plan, which is the plan I use to access all of their amazing features.
There it is, though. That's the only problem I have with a lot of these things is it's another subscription-based service. It's like, I'm not interested in more subscription-based services in this timeline. Like, we already have all these streaming networks, which is probably actually worse than cable TV ever was now. Because everyone wants a slice of that pie, but hey, whatever.
This comes out to only like $5 a month, which is...
Unfortunately, though, that's probably $5 American, so... $7 or $8 Canadian. That's the only problem with a lot of these things that they're putting ads out for. The ads out, no one, when they do these things, are saying what the price is. That's the only beef I have. Like, it's like Twitter there. It's like, oh, it's only like the price of a cup of coffee. I'm like, where the fuck do you buy your coffee when it costs like $11?
Like the price of a coffee. So
I just said that. But no, like, who the hell's paying $5 for a coffee? A coffee's like $1.25.
Go to ground.news/shoe or use the QR code right there on screen or the link in the video description down there to subscribe to Ground News today. I feel like what they're doing is really important, especially right now, and it helps us approach the news in a more fair and balanced way.
What the hell is with the filter? Is there a filter on her right now? Because, like, only her face seems to be clear and the rest of her is blurry. I hope it's not just my computer.
So thank you to Ground News for sponsoring this video, and thank you, the viewer, for not skipping the ad.
You didn't skip it, right?
Right. Now, let's get back to the video. With all these issues men are facing, they seem to be moving to the right and the Republicans more, since...
I don't move to any side because I find it doesn't matter what side I side with. They're gonna lie like they have every other time and not do anything they promised, which has also been a proven thing every time that whoever gets in power. I'm sorry, but until someone actually gets in and does what they promise and stands by it, I don't believe any of them. They're all full of crap as far as I'm concerned.
The left and Democrats have
Anyways.
essentially just become the young men eat and die movement. Months ago, I covered how the Democratic Party was losing young men, and I predicted Kamala Harris would lose in part because of young men overwhelmingly voting for Trump. And I was correct. Well, now the Democrats have unveiled their final solution to the right-wing male loser epidemic. Democrats spending millions to learn how to speak to American men and win back the working class.
Oh god, is it gonna... I just see this going really horrible.
Democrats have blown millions of dollars on efforts to appeal to American men who turned to President Donald Trump in droves on election.
I don't know if they turn to President Trump in droves, because, let's face it, we live in a world of disinformation. So I take that like, I'm just like skeptical that he won that well. Like, yeah, I get it, she dropped out and all that, but it just seems like, I don't know, I don't buy it all the way.
Election day in hopes of winning back the working class. Democrats have spent $20 million.
I don't know how. The only way you can win back the working class is if you actually tax the rich and hold them accountable, really. And that way the working class can actually make a living wage again and whatnot. Like, that's... I don't know. I try not to get into politics bullshit, but it's just like, I'm just a working person myself. All the VTubing stuff, it's just a side hobby. The reactions, side hobby.
On their efforts, with donors and strategists holing up in luxury hotel rooms, brainstorming how to convince working-class men to return to the party. Ah yes, nothing more relatable to working-class men than luxury hotel room.
No, these guys should be staying at the... should have a really small budget to do these things. You really want to relate? You have to have a tight budget, and I mean a tight budget, and figure it out. Like, yes, you guys could pool together what funds you have and get a luxury room if you really want to. Or you could do what most people would do, is find a cheap place to stay and have the extra money to do other stuff around the town. Or whatever you're doing. I don't know. I'm practical when it comes to a lot of thinking. The rich people, the people with money, don't seem to have any brain cells anyways. That's usually just how it just works anyways. And it annoys me. I'm sorry.
Great job, guys. The plan? Codename SAM, or Speaking with American Men, a strategic plan, promises to use the funds to study the syntax, language, and content that gains attention and virality in these spaces. The effort also
The problem is, though, too, in that language is changing at such a rapid rate, especially with the internet and social media and all that, and each generation that gets online, like the Gen Zs, the Gen Alpha, I think what the Alphas and Betas now are getting online. And so, like, it's gonna keep evolving, and they're never gonna be able to, quote-unquote, speak to the people. You'll be able to speak to a generation, maybe. But, I mean, like, the newer generations have already basically given up and thrown in the towel.
Democrats buy advertisement in video games, among other things.
Are you seriously? Wait, what games have advertisements in them?
The Democratic Party is treating young men like exotic animals they're studying. Now, as you can see here, is the young man in his natural habitat.
I was gonna say, it's like Vault Tech just spying on us.
In a dark, messy cave surrounded by Taco Bell wrappers and empty Mountain Dew.
What's with all the what's with all the A1 sauce, my dude? I never noticed that. I don't... I'm sorry, I was just looking at his face with the reaction to drinking that Fiji. Or what? I think that's Fiji water, I don't know. But it was like mouthwash.
Bottles. Here is another young man, as you can
I don't know
see,
who that
also dwelling in a dark cave. This one has dyed his hair blue
I like her pink wig.
to scare off potential predators. Unfortunately, it also scares off potential mates. But moving on, here is another...
Oh. Nux. Oh god.
Young man, we think. We're not quite sure about this one. We're still studying it. Listen, Democrats, instead of spending $20 million to do that,
God damn it.
maybe you should I don't know, actually listen to men? I listen to men for free all the time. All I have to do is read my comment section. Let's see here. ShoeOnHead is a perfect example of why we need to repeal the 19th. Greetings from Albania. I hate women so much it's unreal. Ooh, shoo, mommy, milkies, 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 mommy, mommy, mommy. One time I got my penis stuck in a soda bottle. Okay, on second thought, maybe.
Are you sure you should be reading your own comment section there, Shoe? Like,
Maybe my comment section is not the best source.
you know, I don't think so. You're well, then again, it shows how many people are down bad for her too, I guess, so I guess you could take that as a win or a compliment. I don't know.
Since Trump scored big with young male voters last election,
Who the hell are you?
Democrats are spending $20 million to learn how to speak their language.
Girl, your earring is huge.
I think it's a waste of money. Maybe these guys should spend their money on teaching men to not be such sexists. Maybe that's
But the stats don't bear that out now.
That ain't gonna do nothing, you old hag.
Look at what young women have to choose from. The pickings are slim. Yes, we might have a feminism problem in America, but it's the feminization of men. There are a lot of young women out there that want to get married. They want to have kids. They want to have stable families.
Nobody can afford to have kids in this economy, though, and the way the world's going, who wants to put the kids into a future that's completely uncertain if it's even gonna have a future? Like, that's the sad reality of it.
But there are a lot of young men out there who want to live in mama's basement and order DoorDash.
Oh.
Lady, a lot of people can't afford to just live on their own. Like, I am sorry, but this is like the world that it is just like, it's not really feasible.
Oh no. The very night I was sitting on my couch writing the script to my video about how the Democrats are spending $20 million to relate to young men.
In the grand scheme of things, though, $20 million is not a lot. Like, if you consider how much money the United States government uses for, like, military stuff and even fucking, I guess you could say even social media. Because they're spending tons of money for, like, Facebook and X. I get it, it's a couple of billionaires, but still. Again, tax them. Problem solved. For some problems solved, I could say. Not every problem, but that'll solve some problems.
This came on my TV on Fox News. A Tommy Lahren and Laura Ingraham segment.
I'm kind of glad, in this case, that I don't have cable TV anymore. Because I can't see this slop that's being put on TV.
About stay-at-home sons, men who still live at home. Literally minutes after this aired, it went absolutely viral on Twitter for not good reasons. So we are going to unpack this piece by piece. Because even though everyone was mocking it and making fun of it, as far as I saw, nobody was really dissecting it and breaking down exactly why she was so egregiously wrong.
It's because, like I said, like, the economy is crap. Not everyone can just go out and make it on their own. Like, we have a job crisis as well, even a housing crisis as well, because, like, there's just a lot of problems going on right now in the world, and as far as I'm concerned, like, we are very well could see another another great stock market crash. And leading into, like, another depression era. But hey, like they say, history repeats. Well, we're getting awfully close to the 100-year anniversary of the stock market crash, so I'm just saying, the stars are starting to align and I don't like it.
So come join me in debunking the male loser epidemic. Because who else better equipped to talk about men's issues than two stupid blonde bimbos? Hold on one second.
Thanks for saying the words I wasn't gonna say, Shoe. Blonde wig?
3 stupid blonde bimbos.
Well, the difference is you pull it off better. Shoe pulls it off way better. Like, she looks really good in that wig, I'm just saying.
Sorry. I felt left out. Alright, let's go. Wait. I need my gamer fuel. See? I do.
Wait. What was the eye twitch? We took a sip. But anyways, fun fact: since I'm ADHD, drinking caffeine like that, I'd have to drink a ton of it for it to have any effect on me.
Drink it. That one's for you, Tectone.
It's a major problem. And you know, Speaker Johnson has been talking about those maybe deadbeat folks that are on Medicaid, and maybe some of those folks are the stay-at-home sons. We don't know. But I'll tell you this, leave it to Gen Z to rebrand laziness and social awkwardness as something cutesy, like a stay-at-home son. But Laura, I gotta tell you, this is also a big problem when it comes to...
So I gotta interrupt you because... Oh my god. The one on the left looks like she's just spacing out listening to this one, who's literally reading off a teleprompter.
I think declining birth rates, people not getting married and having children, you know, that's a...
You can also thank the microplastics for declining birth rates, because it's been found that there's microplastics in our sperm now too, so...
big problem. They blame it on women. Well, look at what young women have to choose from. The pickings are slim. Yes, we might have a feminism problem in America, but it's the feminization of men. There are a lot of young women out there that want to get married. They want to have kids. They want to have stable families. But there are a lot of young men out there.
There's also a lot of women out there who don't want kids. I know that for a fact. Like, there's people out there that want them, and there's people who don't want them, because, like, realistically, if you're really realistic, it's a huge cost, literally for 18 years over here at least. Like, you gotta buckle in for a long haul, and hopefully your job will last 18 years to support it, or...
Who want to live in mama's basement and order DoorDash, and that's why we have...
Who the heck? Okay, I've never actually ordered DoorDash in my life, because it's like an extra $50 almost for delivery, so never.
Declining birth rates and a lot of other problems in society. It's time to go out, get a job, breathe the fresh air, meet people in real life.
She sounds like a boomer. She's giving the literal boomer advice. And I'm pretty sure she's not at all, unless she's made out of mostly plastic.
Let's just get back to basics.
So first of all, this stay-at-home son thing is not a real thing. It was a random throwaway, self-deprecating joke some contestant on Jeopardy said. One guy, because I guess there's nothing else important going on that they could cover on the news. They literally made this into a fake phenomena so they can on young men. Meanwhile, Democrats are spending millions of dollars trying to win back young men. Oh no, the young men are leaving us in droves. How do we get them back? Don't worry, I got this. Hey, you fat, lazy, Cheeto dust-covered slobs, you.
Yeah, I don't think that's gonna work.
Nice. Thanks. I love you. I love you too.
Oh my.
Is the amount of young men living home with their parents increasing? Yes.
Oh my god. That was perfect. That's what a good pause frame for the first time ever on this channel.
Is it because they're lazy bums and just want to order DoorDash all day? No. I don't.
There's also another problem. Now I got a perfectly awful pause frame. But another problem of people wanting to stay at home a lot, some people are just, like, feeling defeated in this world. Like, they don't, like she said before, like, there's no point of them trying anymore. Like, they just feel like they've thrown in the towel. They've given up. Like, that's a complete other epidemic that's going on. Like, society, I feel like, is just broken in general. Like, people have forgotten how to be people and how to make actual contact. Everyone... I feel like we weren't ready for this transition, this big of a transition to digital. And now we have AI on top of all that, pushing more slop into us. So it's just like, I have a bad feeling for the future, and it's nothing good. Like...
Also, they're not paying for DoorDash, Tommy. They're financing it. Come on.
Wait, what did I say?
Also, they're not paying for DoorDash, Tommy. They're
What the hell is Klarna? Or Klarna? Must be US only.
financing it. Come on. Get with the times.
There are a lot of young men out there who want to live in mama's basement and order DoorDash. And that's why we have declining birth rates. It's time to go out, get a job, breathe the fresh air.
She has a scary face, that reporter.
Have either of you tried applying for a job as a young man recently? Or tried buying a house on the salary of one of these young men?
Not gonna happen. Like, we have a job crisis. Like, I have three friends. Like, I am fortunate to be in the job that I am. I still have work. The former site I worked at, I believe, is shutting down soon because they are not getting any work. Two of my friends were laid off from work, so it's just like, we have a job shortage. We have a housing crisis because no one can afford it. If people can't have jobs, they can't afford homes. Like, I don't want to say it, but the homelessness problem here is also starting to grow more and more, and it's just like, things are getting bad.
Have you experienced the dating market, been on the dating sites as a young man?
I'll tell you this right now, from the dating sites and that, I have been on them. I've used some of the apps. One of the apps, I'm not gonna say who, tried to scam me for $300 when I canceled it. I got a fee from them, and then I threatened them until they halved the fee for me, but never again. Also, all the dating sites are just a contest to see who's Mr. Popular, and unfortunately, dating sites are mostly filled with men. Because, well, let's face it, we're in a loneliness epidemic, as she's put it before, and there's only so many females, so it's very much rigged, I feel like. Like, I don't know, I don't have much hope for the future, that's all I'm saying right now.
No? Interesting, okay. Just wondering. Listen, I know the average age of a Fox News viewer is like 70 nowadays, and you...
She's not wrong. She's not wrong. She does sound very much, like I said, she does sound like she talks about in boomer language.
To pander to them, but Tommy, you were like 2 years younger than me. You know this shit isn't true.
Wait.
Why are you talking like this? Why are you talking like a f***ing boomer?
I said it! I said it! You can't see me throwing my hands up. I said the exact same thing!
Sorry, I have no other word for this, but I hate this like generational pick-me shit. I was born in the wrong generation. I'm not like those other young people. And you know what? She's not like those other young people. Not all young people can afford a nice nose job and lip filler and get a cushy job on Fox News based entirely on merit, I'm sure. The main problem with this
merit, or she just knew people to get into said job occupation.
Brain-dead boomer-ass take is not only is it cringe, but it's completely divorced from reality. This slop is specifically designed for people who paid like $5 for a f***ing house.
That's not even saying, like, the baby boomers too, they have the option, at least here, I don't know about the United States, at least here, you can go to a Sears catalog as a boomer and order your house for like $1,000 and just build it yourself. Like, yeah, I get it, it's $1,000 in like 1950s money, but like, the fact you could order a house through a catalog, build it yourself, and have it up in like 3 days and done was just, it's just mind-boggling. But that was just one of the things. It's like, it's a wild thing. It's another wild rabbit hole. Like, you could go look it up, like a Sears house. Some of those houses are still standing to this day because they were just built that well still.
Listen, not all boomers, okay? My parents are boomers. They are lovely people. A lot of you guys are boomers.
Seriously? That's wild that she's got boomers in watching her. Wow, she's got like everyone on the age spectrum here. That's wild.
But when the baby boomer generation sends its people, it is not sending their best. They are not sending you. They're sending people who have lots of problems. They're bringing the housing crisis. They're bringing wage stagnation. They're falling for AI-generated photos on Facebook. But some, I assume...
To be fair, unfortunately, AI is getting better, so it's getting harder to tell what is real and what's fake. You have to keep an eye on. You gotta count those fingers. You gotta make sure they have actual irises in their eyes, because those are the two telltale signs right now for AI. But AI is just getting better, unfortunately, and at some point, I'm not. Oh my God, what is my voice? Excuse me. even I'm not gonna be able to tell what's real and what's fake. It's even getting hard for me. I'm starting to feel like freaking Deckard in Blade Runner at this point.
Are good people. But my god, I truly believe they do not understand how good they had it. They could support a family on a single income. A single income from a job that didn't require a college degree. Their leaders didn't prostitute away their economic future for some cheap plastic shit from China. It
was also a completely different era where your bosses cared for you back then. Most of the time. Like, my grandfather, well, he's gone now, but anyways, his job back in the day, I believe it was working for Canada Dry or Coca-Cola, one of those companies back in the day. And then when, off tangent though, like, the computers back then, they had a computer that was the size of a whole room. So they had like a vacuum tube computer for back then. But anyways, that's not the point. No, the bosses back then, they would actually get like a Christmas ham for the family and a bonus or whatever. Like, people actually got treated like people. So it's just like, I don't know if it's like, for the most part, yeah. But I don't know, like, it just seems like each generation is progressively gotten worse of how we treat others. And like I said, now we're in the digital era, everyone can say whatever they want because, yeah, so-and-so said this and that, blah, 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 block, delete, whatever, you know?
inherited the greatest economy known to man, and they pretend it's a paradise that they earned. I just don't understand, like, why don't boomers and spiritual boomers like Tommy Lauren see people struggling and go, wow, I wish I could fix this. They should have it better than I had it. And you wonder why so many millennials and zoomers don't want kids. I want to make the world a better place for my children. I want to make the world a better place for my children. Ugh. Pull yourself up by your bootstraps, you spoiled brat. Children. Not happening.
That's too accurate. Like, alright, when I was young, even the cartoons were basically like, I guess you could say they're brainwashing to a degree, but they were all still focused on, like, education, actually educating kids, making sure, like, keep the environment clean and all that other crap. But, like, look at us now. Everything's disposable and wasteful. So it's kind of like, yeah.
Well, look at what young women have to choose from. The pickings are slim. Yes, we might have a feminism problem in America, but
I feel like the one on the right needs to actually have a date. And I think she's just projecting, maybe just a little.
It's the feminization of men.
Young men are becoming lazy because they're becoming feminized. So they're becoming lazy because they act more like women? What did she mean by this, chat? I know there's like a
chat! She said it again! She said it again!
Decrease in testosterone or something happening, but men are...
Actually, the decrease in testosterone could be related to tap water and all the microplastics. I don't know what microplastics do for hormones. Because it's a whole new phenomenon we're dealing with in that regard. But yeah, there's probably something in there for that.
Moving right-wing all over the world. Does that correlate with the feminization? Or, I mean, there are suspiciously a lot of far-right femboys, so maybe. But here's...
She's not wrong, there's a lot of femboys now. But that just be... I don't know anymore. I am someone older than Shoe. So it's just like, I look at this, some of these things, and go, I have no idea what I'm looking at. I have no idea what's going on. I can't say nothing. I'm an anime cat girl on the internet, but I'm also still a dude, so I can't say nothing.
Here's the thing, Tammy. There is absolutely no evidence that young women want to start families more than young men. None. In fact, all the data says the exact opposite. According to Pew Research, 64% of women younger than 50 say they just don't want to have children. No reason, they just don't want them. Versus 50% of men who say the same. Another study by Archbridge Institute shows the same. 63% of women without children said they have no desire to have a child, while only 50% of men said the same. For men, the most commonly cited factor was personal finance, but among women, the strongest reason not to have a child was their desire to maintain their personal independence.
Well, the girls I know see kids as expensive too. Even my friends who have had kids, even there, some of them are like, if we had known how the financial things were gonna be now, we probably would have waited to have kids or not had them at all, kind of thing. So it's just like even both parties are like, yeah, maybe this was a mistake, kind of thing, but it is what it is.
Basically, they don't want to give up their brunch and mimosas. They've been ass
What?
blasted with propaganda their whole lives, telling them their lives will be ruined, their bodies will be ruined, they'll never have fun again, they'll be miserable forever if they have children. And as someone who has had a children, best decision I've ever made. 10/10, highly recommend, would do it again. But yes, this idea that
A lot of girls would do it again. I know people will have done it again. But no, all reality, nah. No kids. Never gonna happen. For one, never gonna happen.
men are the ones primarily responsible for the low birth rates is laughable. We're laughing over here. But honestly, it's not really women or men's fault. There are a lot of factors that play into this. But Tommy, I really gotta ask, is it men or is it you?
This is gonna be the summer
That's what I said. Is it her?
of canceling boys. All of my friends are attractive. All of my friends are successful. All of my friends have something going on. Almost every single one of them have an issue with men. But if all of these women, including myself, are having issues, then I have to think, it might not be us. It might be you.
You might just be a bit too picky also, though. That's also a possibility.
It's not just the guys in Los Angeles, Nashville, Dallas, and they're not any better in the Midwest. Quite frankly, I think they're trash all over this country.
My friends are successful. Men don't give a shit about that. They'd marry a Walmart cashier if she was nice to them.
Yeah, for the most part, if as a guy, yeah, if you're nice to us, we'll genuinely be like, yep, this is nice. Because a lot of us are just used to being treated like shit or machines, basically. By other guys, too. I'm not saying, like, some guys will, like, get together and all that. It's a whole different, like I said, it's a whole different generation now of how workplace stuff is expected to be. The bosses and the higher-ups all expect results now or yesterday kind of thing, and you're just kind of stuck with your thumb up your ass, like, I don't know what the fuck I'm supposed to do with this.
I think men between the ages of 20 and 30 are not ready, in most cases, for marriage, are usually not ready to be husbands and fathers.
That's a cultural issue. So, look,
No, I would actually, back to your point, I think it's a biological thing.
So,
Right?
let me get this straight. Men are all trash and won't commit and won't leave mommy's basement, and they're destroying the birth rates. But also, young men are biologically incapable of commitment and being parents. What? But wait!
It's like I've before been committed and all that, wanted to settle down. I didn't want kids still. Sorry for that horrible can't talk. I cannot talk. That horrible pause frame. Oh my god. Yeah, my brain is turning into mush. What can I do about it?
There's more. She also believes women don't have to bring anything to the table.
Well, that sounds like someone who's had everything handed to them through life up until now, and now it's just like, oh no, this guy is not doing what I expect of him. What shall I do?
And as a woman, I want a strong man who is a protector and a provider.
The guy in the middle. The guy in the middle looks a bit lost. Actually, all the guys look a bit lost. Listen to her.
That will go to war if need be, that will protect me, protect my family, make money. But I don't think a man needs to get something out of it to be a manly man, a protector, and a provider. If you think you need to get something out of it, I quite frankly don't consider you a real man.
Never before in history have women demanded so much and offered so little. So before we get deeper into this retarded, manufactured, stay-at-home son narrative, let's check the Facebook comments of this Fox News video.
I keep forgetting Facebook still exists because I don't really use it.
Because I am really interested to see what, like, the typical Fox News viewer thinks about this. If the women are anything like these two, I can hardly blame the men for staying home and not wanting to date them. Blame, blame, blame. These two women have a combined age of 93 and they have 0 children between both of them. You both have repugnant personality types, so listening to this was like male birth control to me. My goodness! Boomers are ruthless! Bunch of sissies. I served 6 years, 2 years in Southeast Asia after Vietnam was over. When I was 18, rent was $450 and I could afford to get my own place. She's so spot on. Nothing screams I'm a loser run from me than a guy living at home in his parents' house with his 12-year-old boy's bedroom decor at age of 30. Thank God we raised our sons to be men, who grew up, lived on their own, found their soulmate, got married, bought a beautiful home, and started a family.
That sounds like AI slop.
I was out the door at 18, worked on the assembly line at Dodge and in the Air Force at 19, never went back home. I can't relate to this. Yes, we know you people can't relate. We know. But the world has changed. Why can't you people get this through your heads? I will never let my son stay home. I'm trying to push them out of the nest.
My friends, like, they have their kids and all that, and they said even if they can't get out when they're 18 or whatnot, that's fine. They'll let them stay. Like, people nowadays understand it. The world is different. The old people, like even my parents, I can't explain to them certain things about the world because they won't understand it. It'll just fall on deaf ears.
Okay, I really gotta ask, is this an Anglo thing? Immediately kicking your kid out when they turn 18 years old? My Mediterranean mind cannot comprehend this. And
there's a few people, Shoe, that I've known that have kicked them out. Like, I don't want to name people, but I've known someone whose father basically said, all right, if you don't get a job, you're getting the fuck out of the house. You can't provide, if you can't bring anything to the table, you're out, because I'm not carrying your weight, basically.
Honestly, why
I mean, that's fair. You still get to stay at home, but I mean, whatever, right?
would a man leave home, leave his mother's cooking, for a woman who probably can't cook? Not me, though. Personally, I can cook amazing homemade meals. I'll have you know I am a great trad wife.
That, I don't know if Dino Nuggies count. Shoe, at least put them in an air fryer, come on!
Apple tea.
Now, unfortunately, Tommy Lohman was the only one pushing this stupid lazy young men go get a job bullshit. Mike Johnson did it, referencing 29-year-old men playing video games all day. Steve Scalise did it with 35-year-old men playing video games all day. And just the other night, I saw this on my TV.
I'm almost 40. I live on my own. I don't have the best job. And I still play video games because, let's face it, I work all day. I basically dead by the time night falls. So what am I gonna do?
Again.
A Wall Street Journal headline got our attention. The new dream job for young men: stay-at-home son.
Oh my God, this half an hour thing's turned into 40 minutes already.
27-year-old Brendan Leo won $59,000 on Jeopardy, and he has a master's degree in political science, but he's unemployed. Grow up, get a job.
Yeah, that's the thing though. Like, having that piece of paper saying you're certified to do certain things doesn't guarantee you a job anymore. Because the job markets, like I said, are flooded because everyone needs work, and we've had so many new people come to our countries and stuff, and they need work too. Because like, jobs just don't materialize out of thin air. There has to be a demand. So we're kind of at this weird impasse.
Get a wife, build a family.
Just get a wife, bro. Just get a job, bro.
Get a job? Yeah, just get a job. Why don't I strap on my job helmet and squeeze down into a job cannon and fire off into jobland, where jobs grow on jobbies?
The term wealth...
Jobbies? Pretty sure it said job trees, but it sounded like it said jobbies.
Fair Queen must have fell out of fashion with Republicans, because it seems even they know the approved safe demographic to go after now. Because it's very obvious what demographic they are talking about when they say young men in their basements playing video games. This just get a job lazy attitude is not surprising, but it's especially funny coming from Fox News of all places. Fox News that spends so much time yapping about immigrants taking American jobs. Fox News will talk...
I mean, it's technically not wrong to a degree. I'm only saying this because, like, you have people coming into your country. They need jobs. They need housing. They need all these other things too. They're just people like us. And that's the thing. And unfortunately, at least here, at least in Canada, I don't know how about the United States, the government of Canada will pay partial wage for new people to the country, if I'm not mistaken. Now, someone could clarify that, but like most job places will see that as a win because we can pay these people half their wages, and the country will pay the other half. But it's just like, but you're not solving problems. You're just technically extending the problem.
For years about how Americans are being screwed out of the workforce. But when this issue manifests itself in Gen Z, suddenly...
Not only that, though, a lot of workforces are now pushing for AI. So now AI, like back in the boomers' time, they had to compete with automation, with like assembly line automation, was going to robots and stuff. So a lot of them lost their jobs then. Now we're transitioning to AI, so we're gonna see a history literally repeat again, and people are gonna lose jobs again. Like, there's even now like sophisticated enough speaking AIs that I've heard, at least out here. Not even Neurosama. Neurosama's in her own league, but we have radio AIs now. So like we have radio host AIs that can more or less do the same job as a flesh and blood. So it's kind of like, and now I don't know, AI is a Pandora's box that never should have been opened, and now we're reaping the benefit. Now we're just gonna, not reap the benefits, but we're just gonna lay in the bed we made, basically, now.
It's a moral failure. The fact is, a lot of American jobs held by men are being lost to automation, offshoring, and yes, cheap foreign labor. Companies and billionaires would rather have cheap labor that they can essentially abuse, not pay fair wages to.
Actually, fun fact, this Shue, I believe some of the companies here were tried because they're basically using the foreign laborers. It fell underneath the category of slave labor, so I think there was a lawsuit there. Someone, I can't remember if it was ever happened or not, but yeah.
Good little worker drones who won't unionize, rather than hire American workers for a living wage. The cheaper the labor they hire, the more money they make. I remember when Bernie...
Yeah, it all comes down to corporate greed at the end of the day. And that's another huge problem now. Like, it's gotten so bad, it's just spreading.
Sanders called open borders a Koch brothers conspiracy.
Open borders?
Borders.
That's a Koch brothers proposal, which says essentially there is no United States.
But it would make a lot of the global poor richer, wouldn't it?
And it'd make everybody in America poor. Then you're doing away with the concept of a nation state.
Where'd that guy go? A lot of these jobs being taken are jobs traditionally held by men, like construction and factory jobs, manual labor work. But it's not just manual labor jobs, it's also the tech industry and business industry, which are careers also mainly held by men. There are many, many examples of this, such as Microsoft recently cutting thousands of American workers while requesting...
Yeah, that's another can of worms. Because I guess they were now like, they cut off a bunch of people, and now they're trying to fill in the gaps with AI and foreign workers. Okay, I caught myself there because I accidentally hit stop. I don't like that. That's, I don't like that.
As Microsoft recently cutting thousands of American workers while requesting 14,000 more H-1B workers this year. Some of those job positions include data scientists, which are 70% men, software developers, which are 80%.
I only know about this thing because of the Xbox layoffs, because there was a bunch of games got canceled and I saw it trickle through my Twitter feed. Because
men and electronic engineers.
One of the musicians I follow is from one of the video game companies,
which are 90% men, and many more like that. Another example of this was Tesla, where roughly 15,000 American employees were fired in April 2024, and many were replaced with H-1B visa holders. On Twitter...
What the hell is H-1B visa holders? Oh, they got rid of the US workers. Yep, okay, never mind. Sorry, brain was not braining. That's bullshit. That's probably they make money because Musk is tanking that company pretty badly.
April 2024, and many were replaced with H-1B visa holders. On Twitter, Elon Musk and Vivek Ramaswamy tried to chalk this up to these immigrants just simply being the best and the brightest.
No, they're not. Everyone can see through your bullshit, Musk.
Yeah, okay. You're paying them less for longer hours and more work, and they're willing to deal with it in order to stay in the country. It's coercive, exploitative, and, dare I say, not very America first. When conservatives confronted...
Yeah, what happens now with all these people and all that once the next time election rolls around? That's all I'm saying.
Elon Musk for this last year, he told somebody, and I quote, "Take a big step back and yourself in the face. I will go to war on this issue, the likes of which you cannot possibly comprehend."
Okay, Elon, get in the front lines because you want to say you want to go, like, we can't not comprehend? I can't comprehend him being on the front lines in a war.
So when it comes to replacing American workers in manual labor...
I don't have much love for billionaires who are just corporate and greedy, who don't actually be generous and humble with their money. He's just a greedy SOB as far as I'm concerned. I'm sorry. I get fired up.
with cheap foreign labor, it's deport, deport, deport. But when it comes to replacing his American workers with cheap foreign labor, it's f yourself in the face. Interesting. There's also affirmative action and DEI.
Also, Elon, I'm not that flexible. Are you? To fuck yourself in the face? Like, just saying. You gotta be pretty flexible to do that, my sir. My sir.
Which are other things Fox News always pisses and shits about. But suddenly, when the conversation is about Gen Z men, the demographic of people who are victims of these things, suddenly these things just, like, don't exist anymore. Then it's, oh, young men are all just lazy. They just want to be in their parents' basement, ordering DoorDash and playing video games. But it's not just the brown people taking your jobs.
I can't believe you said that!
I am not beating the allegations with this one. The brown people are not taking your jobs, okay? It's not their fault. They're just cheaper.
Yeah, and it comes down to corporate greed. So... it's like a fucking Hydra. You gotta cut off the heads of the problem.
Aim upwards. But it's not just the brown people taking your jobs. It's the women, too. Many of the dying industries are male-dominated, while many of the growing industries are female-dominated, and stigma around these jobs being...
Actually, most of the growing industries I see now are AI-powered. They don't even have people, period.
Women jobs usually stops men from working them. Women are overwhelmingly entering and excelling in college and the workforce, and they're more flexible about job position and pay, while young men usually hold out for higher-paying, higher-position jobs that will make them the breadwinner. Because you see, despite the...
Well, unfortunately, that's just stupidity. Just get a job. As long as it gets you income, it's better than no income. That's all I'm saying. Like, who cares if it's not, like, super rich money making? Like, I don't care. I'm never gonna see that kind of money in my lifetime. Then again, like I said, I got out of high school. I didn't even go to college or university. I just went right to work. I took 1 year off between high school and getting a job because I knew after that year I'd be working for the rest of my life. And here I am halfway through my life, basically.
The world progressing and the role of women changing.
Actually, I might be two-thirds of my way. I might be two-thirds way through my life, actually.
The role of men has not changed. Every woman is a feminist until the dinner bill comes. But what's crazy is women might be the ones paying that dinner bill soon. A study from the UK found women aged 22 to 29 earned about $1,000 more annually than men, completely reversing the traditional gender pay gap for this age group. In the US, a 2022 Pew Research Center...
Yeah, you kind of covered this before, Shue, with your male loneliness epidemic video. It's kind of the same deal.
Analysis showed that women under 30 out-earned men in many metropolitan areas, with median earnings at or above 100% of men in cities like New York and Washington, D.C. That may not sound like a lot of money now, but it's a growing trend that has never been seen before. It's so bad that it's really starting to affect the dating world.
Yeah, it's like I said, the whole society thing is broken now, more or less. But, like I said, a lot of jobs now are being replaced with AI, so it's only a matter of time before, like, a lot of these jobs, if no one wrangles in AI, a lot of these other jobs get replaced.
American women have never been this resigned to staying single. They are responding to major demographic shifts, including huge and growing gender gaps in economic and educational attainment, political affiliation, and beliefs about what family should look like. More women than men are attending college, buying houses, and focusing on their friendships and careers over dating and marriage.
Nah, I don't know about that. Most people I know are also practical. They don't go out. They can't afford their own house. Like, no one can really make it on their own. Especially here, because like to buy a house, you have to like just to buy a normal house in this area. I'm not even in a fancy area. It's like still like 500K to 1 million. The 500K ones are basically dumps. And the 1 mil and plus could be like a condo or something else, and it's not even that great.
The challenges of finding a romantic partner have been made more complicated by a growing divide in education and career prospects between men and women. In 2024, 40% of American women ages 25 to 34 had a bachelor's degree, according to Pew, compared to 37% of men. A bachelor's degree increases net lifetime earnings by an estimated $1 million.
That's only if you can get an actual job with a degree. Again, a piece of paper means nothing if you cannot get into a field that piece of paper is for. Like, my one friend, they went to school for trade. They're now going back to school because the trade stuff, well, they had work for a while, but not anymore. So it's just like you're not guaranteed success even with this piece of paper and whatnot. And that's all I can really say. Like, nothing is certain anymore.
Women are doing comparatively well when it comes to education in their early years in the labor force, and men are doing comparatively badly. Men's economic struggles seem to be having the biggest effect on women without a college degree, whose marriage rates by 45 have plummeted to 52% for those born between 1930 and 1980,
I was gonna say, 1930, you are old.
according to research by Cornell University. Young men without a degree are struggling so much as a group that there simply aren't enough with steady jobs and earnings for non-college women to date. Men are poor, women most affected. Modern women are no longer tied to their gender role. Birth control has freed them from the prison that is their biology, and they are making their own money, sometimes more than men. They can have it all, they can do anything, they can be anything. While at the same time, men are still expected to be the provider. And more importantly, many men still want to be the provider, but they can't. And women, though strong and independent, still want men to be the provider.
And as a woman...
This is actually getting depressing, this one. Not gonna lie. This one's starting to, like...
And I want a strong man who is a protector and a provider that will go to war if need be, that will protect me, protect my family, make money.
Basically,
who wants to fucking go to war? This is...
Men are like, we're worried we're not making enough money. And women are like, we're worried men are not making enough money. Hello class, I am Miss On Head. I am substituting
Miss On Head.
for your teacher today. She was arrested for molesting a 12-year-old boy. So today we are learning about the graph. This is the growth in productivity versus hourly compensation graph. And you can trace almost everything bad happening in society back to this graph. As you can see, productivity increased while compensation barely grew over the same time.
Yeah.
Period. Notice they tracked very closely up until around 1972. Now, what
Alright, which president fucked up?
happened around 1972, class? Well, the top marginal tax rate was reduced from 70% in 1964 to 50% by 1981. The federal minimum wage began to stagnate. Income going to the 1% rose from 9% in the 60s to 16% in 2023. CEOs also went from making 20 times more than the average worker to making 350 times.
CEOs should have a wage cap of $1 million per year. That's it. Or maybe 500K. Yeah, 500K sounds better. You know, fuck you guys. You don't need to be that rich.
More than the average worker. Anything else? Anything else happened around 1972? Yes, Jimmy, that is correct. Women joined
And now we have too much corruption now, so the problem will never be fixed, probably.
the workforce around this time, but We don't have to get into that today. The fact is, hard work no longer guarantees success, and the will to work is tied to the fruits of your labor. And
yeah, I know, I'm witnessing it firsthand where I work, where I can see people just saying, biding their time, getting paid, whatnot, but the bosses don't care as long as the work gets done.
Young men are fed up today because 90% of that fruit is rotten. Now, is there some truth to modern young people being lazy? Sure, I guess.
A lot of people don't want to put forth the effort anymore, though, Shu, because, like you said, like, they're not getting compensated as well as they should be. Again, if you were getting paid what you're worth, basically, you'd probably be a lot happier. Everyone would be.
Generation had lazy people. And we do basically live in late-stage mouse utopia, after all. Young people today are faced with two options: revolution or escapism. And a lot of them are choosing escapism. Many have basically given up, but it's not like they didn't try. They tried, and they found out the juice just isn't worth the squeeze, whether it's college, dating, or the job market. And in a way, many young men are kind of choosing revolution. The never-before-seen large shift rightward in young men is a small revolution in a way. They're saying, this isn't working for me, this sucks, I hate.
Kamala Harris loses the election to Donald Trump. Disaffected young men will inevitably shoulder much of the blame for the simple reason that the children are our future, and nothing is scarier than angry dudes. Now, like, I am blaming the old people that they keep putting in charge of countries and stuff because they're too far out of touch. I get it, they say, oh, people are too young to do this and that because they're like, they don't have enough life experience. I get that, but if you get too old in politics, you're also out of touch. So you gotta find a nice middle ground, like someone in their 40s, I would say.
I want something different. This is also manifesting on the Democrat side in general. The young men that are still voting left are voting further left. You saw this recently in New York City, where Zoran Mamdani, a self-proclaimed Democratic socialist, won the Democratic primary.
He looks like a James Bond villain.
Young men are tired of the establishment, left and right. They're tired of the system, and they want to burn it down and start again.
Yeah, well, I guess I'm part of them in a way. I'm not young, though.
Want something that works for them because...
Well, didn't Australia do that? Didn't they, like, just get rid of their own government at one point in time and restart it from scratch? The whole thing, basically?
This is not working for them.
No, because, like, I'm saying, like, the whole system is corrupted with greed. And that's all it is at the end of the day. It's like, you can't take all this money with you, so what is the point of being so ridiculously rich that you cannot do anything with it? Like, you have this power to make a difference, but you choose not to. You would rather line your own pocket. I get it, Musk is blowing up rockets and stuff, trying to get to Mars and whatnot, but it's like, what do you do when you get there, my guy? Like, you'll have to start anew over there because, like, you can't just keep shipping resources from our planet over there.
If you wake up one morning and you find yourself in a society where 23-year-olds with 4-year college degrees and, like, initiative who aren't smoking weed every day, if they can't make enough to buy a car, much less a home, much less get married, much less have children, then why should you be surprised when half of them say they prefer socialism?
Huh. Fox News should hire that guy.
I'm not saying I'm for socialism. I'm just saying the current people that are in charge of the systems we have in place right now should not be in charge. That's all I'm saying.
There is an entire generation of fighting-aged men who are enraged and feel like they have nothing to live for.
No comment. No comment. No comment.
You should probably start caring. When they saw this airing on Fox News, they saw an angry woman nagging in their faces about how everything wrong in the world is their fault. An all too familiar thing.
She looks like a changeling from Star Trek DS9. It's because her face is too smooth. It's, like, uncanny.
They have been hearing for far too long. But unfortunately for Democrats, nobody
under the age
of 60 watches Fox News, so this is not really going to have an effect on young men whatsoever. So keep that $20 million. You might still need it, unless we get dragged into another war in the Middle East. If we do get dragged into another war in the Middle East, young men might come running back to the Democratic Party. Maybe not. Maybe not even a George Bush II electric boogaloo. we'll have men coming back to the Democratic Party. Hopefully we don't find out.
Although, it depends how willing they are to serve the country who's now, let too much corruption take place, I feel. So a lot of people are waking up and smelling the ashes, per se.
And as I'm editing this right now, a lot of young people, even the podcast bros, seem pretty upset about the Epstein thing, but we know Democrats won't take advantage of the situation in order to protect the Clintons, so maybe not even this will save them, but we'll see, I guess. Hold on one second. That's better.
I can't tell. Wait, I legit can't tell. Has she been wearing a wig every time she does a video? I can't tell. Unless it's just really good editing by her.
Better. So that was that video. What do you think of the male loser epidemic? Do you agree with Tommy Lauren? Is it all men's fault? Leave your comments below. I read them all. I am probably reading them right now as you type them. Wait, don't write that. No, you can't say that. No.
Yes, I can. Freedom of speech.
No, it doesn't matter if it's with an A. If you like this video, please subscribe. And if you can, donate to me on Patreon or leave a little tip with the little tip jar down below. I'll give it a little heart. It helps the channel and I appreciate it so much. And I will see you guys again soon with a new video, a new slop video. Because I know you gremlins love that shit. Bye.
We do love our slop. Sloppy Joes. But yeah, as usual, the original will be below, but it's just like, I feel like there's so much that's a problem with society that we need to address before we can even, like, fix everything. It's not the wage gap, it's not something else like that. Like, yes, there's some societal things still for that, like, but I feel like there's still hope for people to still make it work. Like, yeah, I am literally the old person. I'm one of the older VTubers, age-wise, I guess you could say. Shut up, phone. I'm busy. But that is what it is, I guess. I don't know what else to really say on that. So we'll get back to that, though. But yeah, link to the original will be below. Make sure to give Shoe a thumbs up, a like, whatever. I don't really matter. If you want to do it for me too, fine. But that's all for now. Bye.